So I've had this idea for a while for a new show on my channel called WTF, Why I Can't Even Right Now. And the premise of this new series was for me to talk about things, or rather rant about things that annoy me or dumbfound me or just blow my mind with sheer stupidity or ridiculousness. And I already actually have a full script written for what I thought was going to be the first episode of this series. It's sitting on my computer, but then something happened today. I had a legitimate WTF, I can't even right now moment. So the last 2 weeks, I've been really getting into this part of the internet this sort of niche part of the internet devoted to creepypasta. Now, for people that don't know what creepypasta is, it's basically urban legends on the internet, where urban legends are spread through oral tradition, or, around a campfire, or in movies, or, books. Like, creepypasta is basically the same thing, only on the internet. And I've actually spent a vast majority of today watching creepypasta videos and reading creepypasta. When I decided to get on Facebook, just to look around, see who was online, and when I saw up in the top corner on the trends, and the #1 trending term on Facebook was Slenderman. So, of course, as I said, I've been reading creepypasta all day. Piqued my interest. And why is Slenderman trending? Is there a new Slender game? Is there, So I clicked on the link, and holy shit. 2 girls in Wisconsin stabbed their best friend 19 times in order to have Slenderman invite them to his mansion in the woods. That was that what the fuck moment that I was talking about earlier. And since then, I've been trying to wrap my head around it. Of course, my mind went to the same place that everyone else's mind goes to when they read something so horrible and ridiculous. How could it have been stopped? Whose fault is it? And it's easy to place the blame on the creators of Slenderman, or the people that wrote the particular creepypasta that inspired these girls to do what they did. Or, and of course, it immediately drew parallels in my mind to all the cases of blaming video games for horrific, events. And in those cases, how people are quick to blame the video games. But is it as easily comparable to that? Can you say that... video games have recently received the distinction of being art, saying that they are held to the same artistic standard as, fiction and music. Can you say the same thing about creepypasta? I think so. The thing with creepypasta, like all urban legends, is that there's a mixture in there of fiction and myth and reality. And so, but at the end of the day, they are fiction. They're a work of fiction created by someone else for other people to read and enjoy. So that's basically the same definition of any other fictional work, whether it be a novella or a short story or a novel. So, I don't know. I guess the main thing that comes from this, and it's the same way I feel about violent video games and violent movies and, you know, music that has explicit or violent lyrics to it. In the end, if you're looking for someone to blame, I mean, in the end, you can only really blame the perpetrators. I mean, but like with other cases, these perpetrators are children. And you could argue that since they're children, they don't have the mental capacity to, you know, to know the difference between right and wrong, or, you know, to know what murder is, even though I can clearly remember when I was 12 years old that killing someone is bad. You don't do that. Which also begs the question, where were the parents? Like, I mean, I get it that kids read things, they see things, that, and the parents aren't always going to know what their kids are doing. And it goes back to the same thing with violent video games. You should know what your kids are playing. And in the case of this, you should know what your kids are doing on the internet. And so, I mean, I hate to say blame the parents, but at the same time, where were the parents? I mean, and like with other defenses where people have said that, oh, I did this horrible, atrocious act because I was inspired to by something. Like, where were the people that were supposed to be responsible for that kid, or teenager, or child in this case? Like, you know, like all the allegations that Grand Theft Auto led to, like, vehicular homicides or mass shootings, like, by, you know, teenagers. How did those teenagers get that violent game? More than likely, their parents bought it for them. And in this case, these kids are accessing the internet, and specifically Creepypasta Wiki, which, by the way, does have a banner that pops up when you enter a story. If it, you know, contains mature content, it says, "This story contains mature content. Do you wish to proceed?" So, I mean, if the parents were monitoring what those kids were doing, then they should have known that they were reading things that could affect them differently. Which brings me to my next thing that I know is going to happen. As a matter of fact, I've already seen it on Facebook through that Slenderman trend link, where political figures, whether it be a politician or a pundit or, you know, a reporter of some kind, saying that instead of saying where were the parents, they're, like I said, they're automatically, you know, blaming the material itself. And I know that this is going to lead to a politician saying, we need to regulate the internet, we need to regulate what's on the internet, and we need to regulate what our kids can access on the internet, which is kind of already a thing. I mean, or rather, the only thing that's really regulated by law is what websites can collect, what kind of data websites can collect from children. But when all those things regulating what's on the internet. You can't do that. The internet is an international infrastructure all over the world. You can't regulate what's on the internet. A country can't regulate what's on the internet. You can regulate what the people can access to, but there are also ways around that. Hence why SOPA was a bad idea. And regulating as to what kids have access to, as to what kids can see on the internet, that's a parent's job. That's not the job of a politician or a senator or representative. It's not their job. That's the job of the parents. So, I don't know. This is just me rambling, I guess, about something that I don't understand, and I don't think I'll ever understand this. Like, these tragedies are hard to understand. Luckily, though, the girl who was stabbed survived and is currently recovering, so that's good news. And as from what I've read, these two girls that did the stabbing are going to be will be charged as adults, despite the fact that they were 12 years old. So, I mean, truthfully, I'm amazed it took this long. Slenderman has been an internet phenomenon for a while, internet meme. It's existed for a while, and I'm amazed it actually took this long for something like this to happen. But like I said, I'm calling it right now. Someone with some kind of power is going to call for a law or a regulation, or they'll call for the website to be taken down, which will do nothing because there's about 1,000 other creepypasta websites out there. And so, I don't know where I'm going with this rant anymore, so it's just pretty much become me rambling. So, I'm going to end it, and if anyone, agrees with me, disagrees with me, if you want to just tell me your opinion, do so. Comments, and, just, yeah. I'll see you whenever. Hopefully I'll get another challenge video, a 30-day challenge video out sometime today or tomorrow or this week, to make up for the one that I missed yesterday and so far today. So yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.